guys are going to be released in the future again. The return of the Nephilim, the fallen angels, the gods themselves with a small g. They are coming back during the apocalypse time.
Cracking his turret rip like the beaks of a griffin with sharp pointy tips in the grip of a falcon. Grasping with grappling talents and worn on medallions of battling, sifting in no man. So many masterfully sculpted renditions, artistically marvelous, monstrous visions, descriptions of possibly authentic dragon-like animals, fossilized mandibles gradually formed by the annual downfalls and rainfalls, exposing mysterious samples. Examine examples like cylinder seals, revealing the secrets of serpents unveiled by you. Different snaps of a snapdragon sounds serendipitous, just like the epic of Gilgamesh. Several conspicuous mythical beasts can exist, and in fact they could actually be crossbreeds from angels who planted the seeds on indigenous demons hungry to breed. In the days of Noah, from the book of Enoch, in the paths of giants, revealing the low hybrid. What we see in this antediluvian world full of giants, if we could go back and observe all the things in the Lost Book of Enoch and eavesdrop on Nephilim hybrids and fathers who flocked in a pack of 200 deserters. These tyrants who plundered like pirates and lusted for flesh in a cycle of violence. They squandered like pigs in the mud of defiance. Abnormal like Dr. Moreau and his science. Monsters without any use of a latex appliance. A violent alliance of violent Goliaths, drowned and diluged by the flood into silence. Desirous delinquents, they lost their commission. Now Lucifer's legions, they turned into demons. Chained and blinded and bound in abyss. Living with locusts deep in the pit. In the days of Noah, from the book of Enoch, in the paths of giants, revealing the low hybrid. These lost from our time in our history. Should we be blind to the mystery? Willingly ignorant to the reality. Fallacies formed by fallacious facsimiles. Angelic offspring conspiracies, possibly aliens visiting, revealing sinister enemies. Posing as saviors with remedies. History, mental capacities, cavities. Demons are grabbing our faculties, abducting sanity, offering new age mentalities. Fraudulent phonies who mimic and imitate, based in satanic magic, facilitate UFO sightings, debacle, debauchery, sorcery, portable forgeries, copied demonically forged by a fork-tongued mythology. Genesis 6 songs of Nephilim, vividly mentioning stories of alien babies and women apparently forced to endure hybrid pregnancy. In the days of Noah, from the book of Enoch, in the paths of giants, revealing the low hybrid.
Because Satan and Lucifer imitates what the true God does, would it not make sense that when these guys fall to earth, maybe they will come in spaceships to take you to the next step of evolution, to bring peace on earth? We've got rid of all those Bible thumpers, those right-wing fundamentalist nutcases, and those hate mongers, and we've got rid of them. Now we're here to bring mankind to the next step of evolution.
All right, what is going on, YouTube? Steve J and Mo. I'm live here today with TheTruthSeeker69. What is going on?
Hi, how are you? I'm here breathing.
That's what we like to hear, you know. But just real quick, you ever see that music video before?
No, I'm like, what is it that I'm watching here? What is that?
That's Destiny's Lab. That's a song called Days of Noah, one of my favorite songs by him. And the music video does it justice. That's exactly what you probably would have seen back in the days of Noah. And then, you know, that, you know, in the Bible it says, as in the days of Noah shall it be there in the return of the Son of Man, you know, the return of Christ. And it's going to get freaky.
And while I was watching that video, I couldn't help but try to imagine, for some reason it popped in my head, what it would look like, a globe hurtling through space with the great flood over the earth. And I'm thinking that wouldn't even work, because having all that water on the surface of the earth would change everything as far as, the density and everything else or whatever. And we would be looking like a spinning water ball hurtling through space. I mean, it just doesn't even make sense. You think about the Great Flood and being on a ball in space. They don't go together.
Right, exactly. It doesn't make any sense. All of that is just nonsensical in every single way. It's absolutely ridiculous that people still push the idea that we're living on a ball. Today they just had the that lady in NASA. I don't know if it was today or something, but she came back down from the space station. And it was like, yeah, she was up there for the longest time. A female's been up there. Everything in the news is a record-breaking thing just to get your attention over here while they're doing something over there. Ridiculous.
Now, see, as soon as you said that, I thought to myself, what would she do if she's having her period up there? Because I'm sure this woman's not in menopause. She's probably in her prime. They pick people to go up in like their 30s and stuff. They have to
5, 40, you look, yeah.
So you have your period. So what's going on up there? Where are these tampons going and stuff? Hang on a second. Let me just shut this off.
It's not even just that, but all this stuff, like how many showers, how many bathrooms. Can we get a full actual video of all of the all of the shafts of the ISS? No, they only give you those 1 or 2 glimpses of those the main canals where they are, and nothing's actually like in a 0G type situation. They show nuts and bolts falling at free fall level to the ground when they fall out of place. So it's just all ridiculous. Just more push on space, the space force, the forcing the space, like you said. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it just goes hand in hand with what, like I said the other day, the literal 45 seconds I caught of the whatever Trump was doing a couple nights ago, the inaugural address, whatever the hell it was. The second I turn it on, and he's talking about how space is very important and we can't do it. We obviously had that one interview a couple years ago said we couldn't have done it without space, but this is just basically a spin off of that and a continuation onto that. And I just found it ironic as well that I caught it at that exact moment. I was like, this is ridiculous.
They done it without space. They needed space to pull off all the shit that they've pulled off on us, and that's a true statement. They couldn't have did it without space, for sure. Now, real quick before we get into stuff, I was just thinking about the supposed early pictures or supposed early drawings of Mars. Of supposedly they would draw what they saw through their telescopes, and back a long time ago, it was surmised that Mars had canals on it. So if you look at old depictions of Mars, you'll see it looking like it's got lines going through it, like they were canals or something, right? Like they thought there was once water on Mars. Because look, I guess they didn't have good telescopes or whatever. I'm thinking now we just looked at those stars and how they really look, and what the one that was supposed to be Mars, and it's got all those frequencies going through it and lines and everything. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that's what they were drawing, because Mars doesn't look like that. Obviously, they depict it to us as that it's just some flat, deserty looking red planet. Not flat, but you know what I mean? Like there's no there's no features to it. It's like featureless except for this big mound or something in the center somewhere. I don't know. It just popped into my head.
Yeah, and we all know that space is 100% fabricated, and it's just strange that they would draw something like that through the telescope, back in the day with the canals. And maybe it's just more of a push, maybe he was inspired by someone with some money, per se, the Vatican, who's been behind the globe for the past 400 years.
What they were really seeing, and to them it looked like canals because they were actually seeing the lines and the frequencies going through it, like we've seen in the new high-tech digital version of what these look like. And to them, they thought, well, maybe we're seeing canals of some sort because we don't know what these lines are and everything going through Mars, but it's actually, because it's not what they think it is.
We were looking at the pictures of the stars the other night, and they all had that ripple effect type deal. And maybe that's, yeah, exactly. I can see that now. Yeah. I can see that now. That makes more sense. But either way, it's very interesting. All the stars, the quote unquote planets, just the wandering stars, and all that stuff is just very, very interesting. And first of all, another thing with the stars and the planets, And the quick, easy proof that we are not on a spinning ball hurtling through spaces, you could see Mercury and Venus in the night sky, which would be impossible if we were on a globe because they'd only be visible during the daytime because
Yeah.
they are on the, let's just call it the left side of us where the sun is, and all the other planets are on the right side of us. And even then, some of those shouldn't be visible at all times because some of them will be behind the sun because they're at different trajectory patterns and different speeds, different rotations, all according to their science. It's all absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. And like I said before, until you said that, I've never even considered that. Just like I never considered no planes at at the towers. It's like just in a basic conversation that we're having one day, and you throw that out, and it's like, wow, that's a piece to my puzzle. I didn't even consider that. I didn't realize it didn't even have that piece. So thank you.
All the time, it's just one big a puzzle making not I was gonna say puzzle making contest, but a puzzle making experience. We all need each other, and no one can figure all this out by themselves, which I see a lot of truth channels be doing that. They don't link up with anyone. They're just so like never have anyone on. They never reach out to people. It's all, and they take credit for all the work that we know they're not doing by themselves. And I'm just like, dude, you're not the epicenter of the truth earthquake. It's absolutely ridiculous. But before I forget, let's give the chat a shout out because we've been almost 15 minutes and I haven't even looked at the chat yet. So who was here first? Michael Healy was here first, but he's gone now because he had to go to bed, I guess. He's in the UK. It's okay. He'll catch it tomorrow. He's good. I talk to him on Facebook all the time. Albert A, what's up? William Bacall, Ryan. Ah, man, I can't say that, but we'll throw you right up there. What's going on, brother? How you doing? OVC from Croatia, what's up? Chrissy Chakul. I can never say this, but what's up? One of my day one watchers from when I first started doing live streams still can't say his name to this day. Could be a girl, I don't know, but either way, what's up? Joey Rocha's in the house. You gotta watch out for that guy. He'll kick you in the nuts. I'm just kidding. Cold Steel Truth, what's up? What's going on? Mr. La, what's up? Yep, Destiny's Lab, fire, absolutely. And I'm actually gonna have him on Monday, probably around between 12 and 2 o'clock, I'd say. I know it's a big window, but all the stars aren't lined up yet. We haven't got all the final details, but yeah, he's a good dude, and we'll be doing a little live stream. So definitely check that out. Jesse N's in the house. Still Earth Journey, what's up? All is well, absolutely. Blade Star 775, what's up? And Ghana Ball just joined us. I think he absolutely. Who else is there? And I think that's all we've covered so far, or everyone in there, but it's still early. We got 21 off grip watching, so that's pretty cool. So all right, so where should we even start with this here, this hollow earth stuff that people get triggered about? I love it. I love how people can't just like hear someone out for 5 minutes, or they can't like just, it's obvious they can't understand what you're talking about. It's like talking physics or calculus to someone who hasn't even mastered algebra yet. So you got to go through it. But like you were saying before, I like the way I look at it, you got to go through a journey before you can understand everything. And Hollow Earth was presented me after Flat Earth, and it made kind of sense when I first started like hearing about it. I never fully looked into it till about 2 years ago, and to this day I'm still looking into it because I don't really know what to think of it. I think it's accurate. I think it's true, but it's just like the dimensions, how deep, and all these mythical stories that even some ancient Indians in America, some of their tribes say their origins are from within the earth. It's crazy. Yeah. And these Indians in America who would have no contact with white people have in their ancient texts and drawings and stories, they were confronted by very tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white beings. Whether they were male, female, doesn't really matter, and that all leads to Nordics, which we're going to get into in a little bit. But it's just so absolutely just mind-blowing, this stuff. But I think I got a good place we could start off. We could watch a trailer to a video that I was just actually I watched it for the first time a couple weeks or a couple of days ago. It's called Hollow Earth Chronicles by Justin Fall, and I think he's got Tom Horn and a couple other people on that. Have you ever checked that out?
Yeah, it sounds familiar. What you just said a little bit ago about how you came on the flat Earth and then you found out about Hollow Earth. For me, I learned about Hollow Earth back in like 2009 when I was still spinning on a ball, and they had that kind of drawing of where Hollow Earth is at the poles, and all these entrances and stuff kind of around the globe and everything. And now, and I haven't really thought about Hollow Earth in a very long time. I was on it for a little while, and then I was off of it and moved on. But I listened to Tom Horn and all the gamut of people that talked about Hollow Earth back then, and the Hollow Earth expeditions they were supposed to do, and all this stuff that never happened. So now that Hollow Earth is kind of coming back into the picture a little bit, we're talking about it a little bit more. I'm thinking to myself, the only depiction I have of it in my head is the globe model of it that they used to show.
Yeah.
And now I have to take that and flatten it down and think about Hollow Earth in a completely different dimension now. You know what I mean? And that's interesting. That's very interesting because, like I said before, we don't know what's above our head or below our feet. And we're barely figuring out what's in the middle. You know what I'm saying? What we're walking on and stuff. And so Hollow Earth is definitely playing a part into this. And it's definitely a piece to the puzzle that probably will come in on the back end, the fuller scope of what's going on with Hollow Earth as we go along trying to figure out this plane that we're on and all the information that's been kept from us. But there's definitely something down there. There's caverns, there's vast amounts of water that's down there. There's massive cave systems that can go from one end of a country to another. It's under the ocean. There's caverns under there even and stuff. So we don't know how vast this plane is as far as depth, and that's very interesting to get into. So I'm all for it.
Absolutely. And that's another thing. I look at it like well, hold on, let me see if I can just share a picture real quick, because this is exactly, well, I might want to get the picture up before I start sharing the screen actually. So give me a second, because there is just one picture I got here that's just like an old, flat Earth map. We looked at it a couple times, and I think that what we are dealing with looks something kind of like that. But let me just get it up real quick. This could be it. This could not be it. Let's see. No, not even close. Do you love when that happens? You're like, oh, I got the picture right here. And it's like, wow, that's.
Steve, I don't have that problem.
I know. Even on the screen sharing, these are screen share headaches that you'll get used to as you get further along. Yeah, and I'm just not finding it. But pretty much it's like, shit, I really wish I could like do something about that right now. I'm really pissed. I know I got this picture. It's like, it shows the dome. It has the land. It's flat, and then underneath it says the underworld, and it says Hades, chaos, and Tartarus, and all that. And I think it's layered kind of like that. It shoots up and then it shoots down. If not just as deep, but pretty deep, very, very, very deep.
Look up. You should bring up the picture of the Hebrew conception of the universe, and it'll show you that whole thing, what it looks like underneath and everything. The Hebrew conception of the universe. And if you can look that up and pull up that picture, it's got the dome, it's got the sun and the moon and everything, and then it's got what's going on below us with Sheol and the pillars and everything like that, and what looks to be like maybe other entrances or cracks, cave systems that go in and everything. And then there's actually a description in the Bible that where that picture comes from of what everything is, like the netherworld, which is Sheol and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about. It's not the exact picture I had, but this is. Here, let me bring this one up because this one looks really old. Let me hit a screen share real quick.
And this is what everybody, even the pagans, not just the Jewish people or the Hebrews, whatever they were called at the time, but even everybody had this conception of the earth. This is the way it looked to them, and they knew that to be true. It was known.
I don't know why I can't zoom in. That's pretty gay, but yeah, this is pretty much it here. You got the pillars beneath.
Yeah, click on the picture itself, and then maybe you can zoom in on it. I don't know.
I'm just afraid it's going to bring me to a website like that.
Now, only if you click the link below it, the words below the picture. If you click the picture itself, it should just go bigger.
All right, I think we got something here. Is you still seeing this?
Yeah, I hate it since they've started doing it this way on images. It really bugs me. That I like the old way it was. The image would come up, you click on it. You don't have to go through all this extra, website stuff and everything.
Right, absolutely. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, so you look at all this stuff down here, that shows some depth, some maybe not hollow in the sense of like, you take a coconut or something, like not that hollow, but it has shafts down there that lead to, the underworld and stuff like that, Leviathan. That's an interesting story people should look into as well. But you got the Shadow Realm, the Great Shield. That was in another picture from before. The foundations. Yeah, absolutely. The foundations of the earth, all right there. The sea. You got the seas above, the seas below. It's all right there, people. The waters above, the firmament. That's literally in like the first paragraph in the Bible. God, the firmament, splitting the waters. It's all right there, and people still just don't understand it. And if the word firmament's too much for people to understand, just read the New American Bible. It says that God made the dome, the DOME, people, the dome.
I'm going to send you in your messages that you can bring up. So you'll have it there in about 30 seconds. I'm shooting it to you in just a sec.
Oh, Jesus. I was sharing the wrong screen that whole time because I got it really good over here. Like an asshole. Check this out. Wow. There we go. How's that? That's much better.
And you can zoom on that one probably.
Yeah. Well, this is zoomed in because this is the original. So yeah, we're zoomed in and it clears up too pretty well. This is exactly what I was talking about. Yeah. You got the moon, stars inside, cloud, the moon, the sun.
Yeah, the one I'm sending you now is going to show you more about the caverns and stuff.
Oh yeah.
You have Sheol in the middle, and then there's all this other stuff like aquifers, underground aquifers and stuff like that. It is hollow. There's no way around it. When you see it like this depicted, it's hollow. So, but they were trying to have us believe that we were on this hollow globe, hollow ball, when it's not. It's crazy.
It can't be, Like, I understand that, like, all this stuff is most likely deeper than 8 miles down, but if it was a ball and it was hollow, like, you would definitely be able to dig more than 8 miles. You know what I'm saying? That's the largest hole ever drilled, and I think it was in Russia. That was a long time ago, but they're attempting to do it again, I heard, but that was a couple of years ago, so.
Yeah, I think that what it is that maybe the netherworld or whatever like that, and the pillars and all that are below the 8 mile mark. That's part of the dome that we can't go. It's a barrier. We can't go past that, but there's stuff past it. Don't get it twisted just because we can't go past it. I think that when you look at that depiction there and you see the word earth and you can see the land, and just below the land, it looks like sort of like a flattish kind of table looking thing, but it's not a table. That's a water table. That's what people are tapping into when they drill down and hit these natural aquifers. And they can get to that and maybe some of the oil there in the underworld part where it says underworld in the center. But they can't go past a certain point. Like, I think, the 8 mile mark is just part of the dome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Whether it's, metaphysical, actual physical, or some like frequency that just literally shuts these drills off. They can't go any further. It destroys them. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's, I was thinking something like that too. You can't get into it by just drilling in the middle of North Dakota or some crap. You got to the only way you can get into these caverns is by going through these little cracks and grooves and caves and through the bottom of the oceans and stuff. There's literal the discoveries where they've been so deep in the ocean, they found another liquid source that they couldn't get through.
Yep. That's a barrier. They bounce right off of it.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
The only explanation they come up with is, well, it's a different solvency there, buoyancy, and all this stuff. It's a collection of like a high density salt or whatever in that, and it's whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying it. That's just not what it is. It looks like some sort of a plug or something like that. That's like, there's a rubbery kind of plugs. That plug goes, take the plug out of your kid's pool and all the water starts flowing out. It looked like a plug of some sort.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this whole hollow earth thing is crazy, but so that was just a quick little intro for everyone, so they're not like these guys are just retarded or something. So let me get this queued up, and let me close a couple tabs. I've got like 25 tabs open right now. I'm sure we're gonna drop out at some point, so let me just get this queued up, and then we'll get all that taken care of. All right. Is this sharing? That broadcasting? All right, cool. Let me just get this close. We'll keep that open. We'll close that. All right. Now we are good. So let's play this, and let me know what you think if you haven't seen it, and everyone in the chat, just take it for what it's worth. Yeah, I really encourage everyone to check this movie out. It's only like $20, I think, if you get the package. I bought them individually, so I kind of missed out on $10, but hey, it is what it is. With the, just like everything we view, guys, you take the meat, you spit the bones, because at one point, one of the guys starts alluding to simulation theory, and another one says that some of these are coming from space, and, you take everything but that, apply it to our reality model that we've constructed within our own minds. Like, I'm not working off I don't have the technology or the computing skills to make a 3D, 4D type model, but for what fits with you personally, put it all together, and you might get a couple puzzle pieces that you didn't expect to get today. So let's just take a look at this, and it's 5 minutes long, so we'll just check in after that. So, all right.
Okay.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Job 1:7.
The world consists of vast cultures with stories that constantly connect their gods with the inner earth. And not just their gods, but reptilian races of hybrid entities. We're talking superhumans, strange animal creatures, or what the Book of Giants refers to as monsters.
When you're dealing with the areas around the world where so much myth, legend, oral tradition, and belief, contemporary belief, there's always almost an embracing of the underworld.
The earth is actually dynamic. By that, what I mean is that, we all go to work every day, we get in our car, we are driving over a shell under which, according to the Bible, there is supernaturalism, there are entities, there are creatures, there are beings.
If you were going to hide something and keep something secret, there's two places to do it. One is in the deep, deep oceans. The second place is a labyrinth, a network of tunnels and areas which go deep underneath the earth.
There was truth to this idea that this race called the Vril-Ya had been existing under the earth since the days of the Great Flood in the antediluvian world. In fact, the belief of the Vril-Ya and of the power of Vril was actually so prominent among German occultists that it gave birth to a secret society, one of the most notorious secret society involving the Nazi regime, called the Vril Society.
The Nazi expedition to Shambhala originally started in Greenland with the Edda. The Edda were ancient Nordic writings describing a hollow earth. They went there to see if they could find further details or information. This was the top of their agenda. They had to find this opening. And the next thing you know, they had the Neuschwabenland expedition to the Queen Maud Land area of the Antarctic. It's what drove them. It was a religious belief that drove them to cordon this area off and claim it for their own.
When I read Admiral Byrd's description of things that he saw and how it felt going into this abyss type of opening. But it also was a long time ago, and we've learned a lot about quantum physics since then. We've learned a lot about how these types of things would work. And there are too many descriptions in there of things that he saw that line up with current quantum physics understanding.
The underworld of our people, very similar to the Cherokee stories, the Creek stories, the Maya Incan stories of underwater panther and these underworlds where there was completely different civilizations that lived under there.
We know in the Bible that the Watchers, the angels who kept not their first estate, according to Peter, are kept in chains in Tartarus until the judgment, kept in darkness until the judgment. Tartarus, in Greek mythology, is as far below Hades. It's not Hades, it's as far below Hades as the earth is below heaven. That's where the Watchers, according to Peter, have been confined.
And what we're finding out is that the fallen angels and demonic entities have been molding the views. They've been molding the cultures, and hyper intentionally, they've been molding the religions of the world. They've been literally priming the world for the greatest deception of all time. And we are fast approaching that time right now, according to the Bible.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, what'd you think about that?
Looks good. Now that's like a series that you have to rent or something.
It's like, yeah, pretty much. They haven't released like part 2 yet. Well, I don't know. I kind of just stumbled upon this film a couple days ago. They have this one. They have this other one called High Entities, which is rather interesting. It's like, whew, it is. It pretty much points the difference between the Nordics, or whatever you want to call them, the Vril, the tall white, whatever, quote unquote, beautiful looking beings, according to some of these ancient occultists.
That is an overlay. I don't think they really look like that. I think that's the way they appear because they're really hideous, is what I think.
Oh yeah, Lucifer, he can be presented as the bearer of light. So these people, they're just, they're dwelled in this deception type deal. They're all about it, but it tells the complete difference between them and like these gray aliens that are popping up everywhere. And there's a clear difference on who's like really in charge. You know what I'm saying? Who's really the intelligent one of them two. You get because the grays. They have this thing called the Greada Treaty. I was going to get into this in a little bit, but the Greada Treaty is a treaty between President Eisenhower and gray aliens, apparently, that was interrupted by the Nordics, because the Nordics were like, you guys shouldn't go through with this. And I think that's going to play into this final alien deception, because you see all these movies, right? Excuse me, like Transformers. There's good aliens and bad aliens. They're going to pull it off like that. They're going to have these crepid, creepy, effed up looking ones like Decepticons, and they're going to be like from the grays, and then they're going to have these other ones that are going to be for us, they're going to help us, that are going to defeat them and look like the new Christ or whatever. They're going to pull it off that way. They're going to save their word. They have this whole agenda that lines up with the Bible, but their own knockoff version, and that's how I think they're going to pull it off. And that's not like what I fully think. That's what I've been thinking the past couple of days. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So back in 2013, Google puts out stuff for their Earth Day, and they're called Google Doodles. And I sent you a bunch of pictures from their doodles. And,
oh yeah.
Messages, and I was wondering if we could pull some of that up. First one is a video I sent you for Earth Day 2013. And this is before Flat Earth was popping off. And it's very interesting what Google portrays Earth as on its Earth Day for 2013. And then there's a whole bunch of other pictures too that I sent you past that video that we can look at.
All right, let me just find. Oh, there's the video. Because I had all the pictures lined up. I just couldn't find the video.
Telling us what we're on without anybody, it would just go right over somebody's head back then in 2013. But it was right on the cusp of Flat Earth coming out, because it was like 2014 it really started popping off, I think. And I was like, look at this shit. They're telling us right here. You know, people just think it's a cute Google Doodle. Yeah, look at this shit.
Oh, I'm
it's interactive. Watch this. You play it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was echoing, but I think I'm good now. So, all right. Did I share audio? Let me just check real quick. Do a double check. Yep. All right. So, we want to just play it out? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Have you seen this at all?
No.
Before?
Well, yeah, but not in 2013, obviously.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. There was one little swirl there, and he's going to make another swirl because they look like sixes. 666. So you just saw 666 on there. And he's making these little swirls. And then here comes the moon. There's the dome.
Oh, wow. All the stars within the dome there.
Exactly, Steve. They're not quite showing us what's underneath, but look under that where his hand is right now. There's some tunnels that go down there. You see them?
Yeah, I'm gonna pause that. It's kind of like the pillars they're saying, and this is like, you know, maybe the shield we were talking about, as it kind of projects, you know, just maybe the underneath of a lake, but they could be saying something else there. But then they have the mockery. But then they have the mockery over here, water falling off the edge of the flat Earth. So everything's up in here that you need, you know, from all spectrums of that crap. Ridiculous. But yeah, that's crazy. 2013. That's crazy. Yep. We weren't looking at any of that in 2013. I sure wasn't. I was kind of dipping into a little 9/11 JFK type deal, but I was still in high school. And you see how that sun kind of looks like a hexagon, or am I just like tripping balls or something?
I see it as it's out and in. You can see it.
Yeah, pulsating for some god unknown reason, but you know, it is what it is.
And look, there's another phase of the moon coming along. It's just like, I can't believe this was out in 2013. I found it like probably around 2015 is when I found it.
Very interesting. Yeah, I was going to say, I remember seeing these back in the day, but that's just, wow, I never, you know, it's like a trip down memory lane. Because like, I do kind of remember seeing this shit in like high school. Because Earth Day was what, sometime in April, right? I would have still been in high school, April 2013. Yeah. April Fools.
Yeah. We'll pause this and bring up the pictures that go along with the doodles, because there's a couple of pictures that aren't in this little video here.
Absolutely. Give me 10 seconds. I think it's just here. And let's see. There we go. We have a couple lined up. We'll just, we'll go from here. We'll go to left after.
Okay, yeah. So it came out 2013. It was re-released 2016 in their doodle. They're just, I think, like, you know, they know all this shit's going to come out. And I think they try to get ahead of it somehow or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like 9/11. They knew that was going to happen, and they got way ahead of that one. Good 20 years ahead. Even 30, actually. You know, Back to the Future. But, yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. And they're clearly portraying a dome there. If you click on the one that has multi-pictures in the one frame, yeah, that one there. Go back one. I'm sorry. Just go back one. You just passed one that looked like a wintertime scene. That one. That's not in the video, but that's a cool one there. It always seems to have the same type of thing. It looks like there's tunnels on the one end. You can see water below, and then the water dripping off on the side. So the bottom seems to always look the same in the doodle pretty much. But, you know, the tops, it's just so interesting how and they even have the sun within the dome there, as you can see. It's not like way out 93 million miles away.
absolutely local. That's, it's pretty obvious to me at this point, and it became even more blatant and obvious to me during the 2017 solar eclipse when there was only a 78-mile or a 70-mile wide blackout zone. If the sun and the moon, or if the moon is just as big as the sun, just in our perspective, because it's that much closer and that much bigger, I think that most likely a 237,000 mile wide blackout zone would have been going across the face of the earth. But, who am I?
I think that was when that shadow that was seen was actually them moving the simulator itself over the sun, and the sun was casting the shadow from this, because the simulator, the sun's behind it, and it's going to cast a shadow down on the earth, and they're going to have to tell us it's the moon. It was a clear, crystal clear day. I didn't see any moon out there. I was watching. There was nothing coming over. So whatever they have that's covering the moon, it's some sort of transparency. We can't see it with our eyes, only on certain angles. In certain ways we catch photographs of it and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And another fishy thing about that eclipse was the fact that NASA jets were following the eclipse from Washington, Oregon area all the way down to South Carolina, spraying bacteria along the entire way of it. And yeah, I don't know. You said it was a clear day where you were. Where I was, it was chemtrail city. It was bad. It was really bad that day.
And I think these jets probably weren't spraying; they were help towing it into position. Maybe, I don't know, but that
definitely, multifaceted, of course.
Casting that shadow across the earth, it was most likely the simulator. And once that thing ended, that eclipse, for the next 2 weeks after that, I just felt horrible. I felt like an oppression was over me. I felt a lot of anxiety. I felt like I couldn't stop crying. It was just it was almost like I was in mourning or something. It was bizarre.
Right, because maybe you just had that inner intuition feeling that we all miss, that they just put up their not literal antichrist, but what a representation of it. Because there's a lot of people who believe in that zeitgeist astronomy, and if that's accurate to someone, and they just replace the sun of everything, and you're in that speculation, that perspective, they just took that out of the sky and replaced it, and now you have a false prophet going over the land. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's crazy.
Exactly. I definitely felt an energy change for sure.
Absolutely. And yeah, this is just bizarre. All of them clearly depict a dome. Some of them, it's just absolutely bizarre that they put this in our faces.
No, black, like a black sky. They made it dome shaped for a reason. Even the daylight ones, you could see the dome. It's there. They're clearly telling you something with that.
The stars all within. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just so bizarre. It's I can't believe they just put it right in your face like that. They do that with everything too. They did that, like I said, with 9/11. With this Mandela effect, they be doing that shit all the time, right in your face, because they had that commercial during the Super Bowl. It was, they were singing "Paint It Black," but they were singing it the old way, not the new way, and that's intentional, I believe. I don't think that's everyone just, everyone misremembering. I think that a lot of people are in on this thing, and they're just trying. I don't know. It's just bizarre. It's just absolutely bizarre how much crap they put in our face, and all the occultism, all the 33s, the 666s, the 77, all that other stuff. Everything they just throw in our faces with numbers is unbelievable.
Did you hear Brian's show earlier today in the morning? I think it was around 11:30 or something. He was talking about Criminal Minds. There's an episode out now about a serial Mandela killer who goes around chopping people's heads off.
Yeah, I heard that because I was at work, unfortunately, but he called me on Facebook or sent me a couple of voice messages right before he went live, and he was like, "You're not going to believe this." So after this, I had all this on my mind today. I didn't want to get Mandela sidetracked, so I was just like, once I look at Mandela effect, that's what I'm looking at for the rest of the day. It's like, fuck Tom Hanks, fuck all these people. I can't not look at it without devoting a whole day to it, because Mandela effect is just that crazy. That's like Hollow Earth. I started looking at this again just for the heck of it a couple days ago, and since then I've probably done 15 to 20 good hours of just research, looking at videos, old podcasts and stuff like that, stuff that I've listened to before. But what I like to do that all the time, like a little refresh, because now that I've looked at this, and this, I'm going to listen to this podcast from 4 years ago. And then I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, now I get it. Now it's like really starting to stick a lot more because I got this seasoned all over me already. And, acceptance like that is a lot more plausible now.
Yeah, well, what they're trying to do is the people who don't see the Mandela effect yet, they're already trying to steer those people into looking at us as if we're crazy people and we're dangerous. And I was over, Brian sent me a link to look at what these guys were talking about. It was that John LeBon guy and somebody else. I forget his name. And they were like, oh, these crazy men. What is with their way of thinking? This is just dangerous. This is dangerous thinking and stuff. And they were really just pushing this agenda, even the tone of their voice, that we're crazy. The way we're thinking and acting about this whole thing is crazy. And it's going to lead to even worse, crazier things down the line if we don't do something about it now. So this guy's steering people. IPS is steering people. You got this Criminal Mind show that's steering people in the direction of that, oh, you're Mandela effect. Oh, you're a dangerous person. I better see something, say something kind of thing. Whereas the average Joe who does not know what's going on will actually beg for the authorities to do something about us crazy Mandela effectors because we're dangerous. And now we're going to fucking chop heads off.
Right.
So,
I can see that.
Honestly, they're really trying to, not only that something's happening and they don't want people to recognize that something happening, but we're seeing it and we're talking about it. And we're starting to try to put the pieces together of why this is happening. And it's leading us more and more towards a creator. The whole flat earth thing had to come out because the globe's changing, and that's a big fucking lie. So they can't stop this. So the only thing that they can do is try to make flat earthers, because I'm sure next there'll be a flat earth serial killer CSI or something out, you know what I mean? Or there'll be like the Flat Earth Massacre or something, Chainsaw Massacre Flat Earther on in the movies next week or something, to make them people look crazy too, so they can group us all up into this Mandela effect / flat earth freak show of some sort who need to be dealt with. We need to either be medicated, reprogrammed, or, bring out the fucking guillotines and let's start chopping their heads off.
Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. And then, I just started looking in the chat real quick, so I kind of got sidetracked there. But who was I going to say here? Scotty, this dude Scotty. He's asking if this is live or from the other night. This is live. It may seem like it's from the other night, but we do that. We do this all the time. So,
oh, baby.
Actually, I should probably download our show from the other night. That'd be a good premiere to run while I'm at work tomorrow.
There you go.
I always forget to do that, dude. I got like 6 or 7 vids of us and me on Stavely's channel that I just always forget to premiere, because I'm not thinking like that in the morning. I wake up and I'm just like, all right, shower, all right, go to work. I'm like, fuck, am I halfway to work? I'm like, damn, I didn't put the premiere up, because you can set times for that too. Like I could set it up and have it go off at 12 o'clock, let's say, and set it up at 4 or 5 when I wake up. So I always find that cool, but I always find myself forgetting.
Yeah, I've been trying to premiere more often and premiere some of my older videos. I like premiering my wine stream. That was really good. It's just epic for me.
Hey, absolutely.
I went off that night.
Yeah, we got that giant live stream we did. We do that on my channel, your channel. We went 6 or 7 hours. That was ridiculous.
I remember. I think we did it once on mine and once on yours. We went 3-4 hours and then 5 hours.
I'm still tired. Still haven't recovered from all that. Gosh. Oh man. All right, but my computer just keeps fucking up whenever I hit the wrong button. That's expected, but give me a break. All right, what have we watched already? So what did you threw me? Okay, yeah, we just watched that. I'm just trying to clear some tabs real quick, guys. So I just don't want this to crash while we're
Oh yeah, I just sent you something, a little thing about.
Yeah, I'm looking for that. I thought I opened it, but I guess not. Let me.
Yeah, we need to open that because I want to show you something. There's this race of beings called the Darrow, and supposedly these are some sort of beings that have very long noses, like long, skinny noses, and big ears, like kind of like just oversized ears, and they're like bald, and they're really little and creepy looking. They're not little, they're like maybe 4 feet high or something. And they're real creepy looking, and they do all this nefarious stuff. And they've taken people from the surface down to the hollows where they live and use humans as their slaves. And once I heard all this and did research into it, which was probably like 2-3 years ago, I was on the Darrow kick and everything, watched all these videos about it. I remember a while back when I was in the Hollow Earth back in 2007, there was somebody who had drilled a hole somewhere in like Russia or something, or Ukraine or something like that. And they dug it down way down, and they stuck a microphone all the way down this hole or something like that.
I heard about that. Yeah, that was sketchy.
And they're like, this is the sounds of hell, I think that the name of the video is. You could probably look that up later. All right, scroll down just a little bit and I'll show you the paragraph we're going to look at.
This is the right page, right? I just okay, I just want to clarify. All right, yeah.
A little bit here. Just a little bit more. That first paragraph there, it says Tarot and Darrow. We're going to read that one. But before we get to that, if anybody hasn't seen this video, The Sounds of Hell, I suggest you watch it. Maybe we'll pull it up after this. And you can hear what sounds like millions of people screaming in horror and terror. And then you can hear these really deep, weird voices in the background, which to me, in my visuals in my head is imagining like some kind of weird creatures that are kind of like herding everybody into this cavern and torturing them and doing whatever it is. Because apparently these Darrow, they get off on torture. So like, and they also have some sort of mind altering technology where they can zap your head and make you forget things, or zap your head and knock you out. So like, say if you're trying to escape, or, you start waking up from them zapping you, they'll zap you again and knock you back out or whatever. It's really interesting, some of this stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like some 5G tech, in my opinion. That's crazy. But yeah, you want to tackle this? I haven't read this before, so you seem like you got steam going on this.
It's kind of small on my end. I don't.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because I can't enlarge my screen. It's bigger.
Right.
You read it. It says beneath our Earth. Yeah, that's where you want to start.
All right. Beneath our Earth's surface is the inner world, with seemingly endless natural caverns and artificial tunnels spreading out and down into the earth. These passages have their own. Where are we? Their own, what's that? Peculiar underground? I don't know how to say that word. Underground ecology of waters and lichens, mosses, fungi. In its upper levels, this dark realm is inhabited by humanoids of every sort. That's interesting. Further down are stranger races, most hostile to the surface dwellers. The Tarot and Darrow are the only two entities living in the inner earth. And that makes perfect sense to me because, like I said before, there was this Tarot more friendly. Yeah, I get that. I can see that because those are going to be these Nordic type deals, these Vril, you know what I'm saying? And the Darrow is going to be these, these Decepticon looking motherfuckers when they roll it all out. I'm telling y'all, that's how it's going to be. But, it is what it is. All right. Should I keep going here? Where are we at? The Tarot?
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I'm going to show you pictures of what they look like as you're doing that.
Okay.
You're reading that. Sorry.
All right. Yep. The Tarot are the more friendly and keep the Darrow in line. Who are reptilian in nature. Literally what I'm talking about. Ridiculous. I've never read this in my life, and I could quote this by accident. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. All right. Demented and having excessive power. That's awesome. Great. That's the reptilian ones, by the way, people. So the stunted dwarf-like Darrow are amongst the worst of the inner earth races. They crave magic, power, slaves. That sounds like what the people on the outer layers of the surface of the earth, the people who run this realm, physically, like as they pose. That's, you put two and two together and you see who's working with who. Like we said yesterday, 2 + 2 is 4. It ain't that hard to figure this shit out. So they are hated and distinguished even by other evil races who hate them. Nice. So they're just scaring the hell out of everything. That's awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Every 20 years, the Darrow explore outwards through the underworld, attacking anything they encounter and destroying or enslaving weaker races. And let me real quick just say something. Remember that Greada treaty I was talking about earlier, talking about Eisenhower making a treaty with the Greys? Apparently this treaty has to be renewed every 10 years, which kind of, I know this is 20 years, but 10-20 years coming to the surface. So it's kind of relatable. I know it's sort of a stretch, but it's not like I'm trying to connect A to J right there. It's like A to D. Not too bad,
Sure.
Absolutely. That's crazy. Wow. All right. What else should I read? This just seems like some crazy shit.
It's a really good. It'll get into what the differences are between these two races, the kind of battle that they're having, and whatever, and how it affects us and what they're doing, how they've taken humans and everything.
Good God. Yeah, I'm just giving this a quick skim real quick.
Yeah. I bring some stuff to the table, Steve.
This is just a good table to be on.
I know.
What we got? I can't even pronounce half of these words, by the way, so we're gonna have to bear with me. All right, what we got? Drown. The evil dark elves thrive in the inner earth. Right. They trade with or war on other races and are renowned for spell casting. Well, that's kind of like Hollywood, That's nice. Oh, yo, like I just said, the Greys, the Grey Dwarves. I don't even know how to say that word. Dugrar, the Grey Dwarves, inhabit deep regions and seldom venture to the surface. Yeah. Well, now it's kind of more often than not, I assume. When was this even written? Is there a date stamp on here somewhere?
I'm not sure. It's probably been around for a few years, though, for sure.
From a Facebook group. That's cool. So I can look that up my own time. All right. Let's get back to where I was here. Ooh, that's interesting. All right. So organized and intelligent, they easily hold their own against other subterranean races. And that's interesting because a couple of these people that I've been listening to lately, just re-listening to, let's put it that way. The subterranean realm is where it's all going down, people. And that's where it went down back in the day, the days of Babylon, the days of Noah, going back. That's where it's all originating from.
Yeah.
They are master of stone and metalworking, but hate their cousins. They just put that together. The hill and mountain dwarves. Man, that's interesting stuff.
And they have technology. They have technology that's really advanced and stuff. And then they, of course, they use magic and all this stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. I'm just trying to figure.
They have these magic wands supposedly that they use, and it's some sort of a technology, and they can tap your, like, remember in Men in Black they had that thing they could zap you with and you erase your memory. This is what the Darrow. Yeah.
The flash stick. Yeah. That's crazy.
We get our stuff from aliens. The public don't know about this. In the movie, it's all from the aliens. Well, the aliens are actually below us. They're not out in fucking space. Once again, it's a complete fucking opposite than what they're telling us. Aliens are coming from far reaches of space. No, they're coming from the far depths of our plane that we're on. That's where it's coming from. As above, so below.
Exactly. Funny thing about that movie, most of that movie, they were in the underground bases where all the aliens were. So just more of a shot to an idea of, there being intelligent inside of the earth. But how do we say this word here before I just completely kill it? You see that at all? Can I zoom into? How do you say that there?
Germaning. something like that. It reminds me of Saint Germain, which is one of their false gods that, you know, people buy into and stuff. But it's something like Germain or something.
Oh, I can't read that. All right, there we go. That's much better. All right, so germlame. I can't even say that right.
Look
All
like
right. Yeah.
We'll just call them the Jays. We got the Grays and the Jays.
The Jays. All right. They look like miniature humans that stand 12 to 18 inches high. And you know, I've been in ancient man, I think it's Hopi. They talk about the ant people in their language that breaks down to Anunnaki. How crazy is that?
Sometimes we've seen movies with little people in it, the littles and all this stuff like that, where it's just these little people that are hiding in the cracks of houses and stuff like that. Or you'll see a video on YouTube where somebody puts up, they had their camera on a table and they left the room, and all of a sudden you see this little person run by who's like maybe like 10 inches tall or something. And everybody's like, oh, that's a hoax. That's a hoax. Is it a fucking hoax? I don't know. There's gnomes, you know, these little fat Santa looking guys running around with beards and stuff and their weird hats. Who the hell knows what's going on? I thought I saw a fairy in fucking Walmart one day. I even went over, got out of line, went over and started digging through the bread section where I thought I saw it landed. I couldn't find anything.
That's crazy.
But, so yeah, go ahead. If you want to read on, you can. And I also just sent you some pictures of what the Darrow look like, because there's been people who have been regressed in hypnotists through hypnotists and stuff to deal with their traumas and everything. And this is one of the things that surfaced. And they actually did drawings of what they remember when they were there, when they met these people, and they were able to escape. And some of the tarot people help the humans get away from the Darrows because they don't agree with what they're doing to humans.
Yeah, allegedly, you know, but it's all one big deception. I think secretly they're all on the same team. I think these Darrows or these Greys are just the spirits of Nephilim, their children, and I think these Nordic type looking more enlightened ones are the ones who witnessed creation themselves. You know,
right.
Part of the council that fell.
Supposedly the Darrow and the Tarot are at war with each other, and the Tarot are real like earth-like, you know, real demure and whatever, and peaceful. And the Darrow, they like to torture them and kill them and all that stuff like that. And then they've been seeing what the Darrow are doing to humans that they hijack from the surface and bring down to these caverns and stuff, and they try to help them and help them get away or whatever like that. But they're under attack themselves by the Darrow because these are just some evil motherfuckers. That's crazy. You can't make this shit up. It's like, what? Oh.
Interesting. It goes on to say that these troublesome gremlins love to swarm, rob, and swarm and rob larger beings, which would probably be us, leaving the stripped victims for monsters to find. That's not good. The Jays, like rats, share their what's that say? Share their liars with them. What does that mean?
Their lairs.
Oh, okay.
Like a lair, you know, like I don't know, like a bad guy would have a lair.
Oh, I get it now. Yeah, I'm just dyslexic. You know, the A and the I, A before I and E and all that shit. Never quite understood that.
Oh my gosh.
Here comes another word I don't know how to say. So we'll go troglodytes. I don't know. Whatever the T's are man-like reptiles that dwell underground. In battle, these creatures emit a nasty musk. Wow. Okay, which disable humans. That's just let's pause there for a second. Like I told you before, I've done a lot of paranormal research in my days, and when you come in contact with something that is really definitely not positive, it's gonna smell bad. That's weird. Just like to point that out real quick. So it goes on to say demi-humans and humanoids, allowing the trogs. I like that. There you go. The trogs to kill quickly and take the bodies back to their land for a feast. That's interesting. So these trogs are pretty fucked up. All these things seem pretty fucked up.
Exactly. And this is what's going on underneath of us. And, then you hear stories of like the Queen of England having at one of her castles down, way down beneath the castle where she communes with these things or whatever. They come up to a certain point and she goes down to a certain point and there's supposedly like all kinds of weird stuff like eggs and stuff. I don't even know. It's crazy.
Stories about how there's most likely ancient tombs, or not tombs, but what they were talking about in the Bible, where the fallen angels were shackled. That's supposedly underneath the Vatican itself.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's really crazy. And have you ever looked into the prayer warriors? I don't know if that's the proper name to call them, but like these it was these guys. I think they were in the U.S. military. I'm not sure what branch, but they were like spiritual warriors. They would, get signs from God, or just they would have that feeling, I got to pray real quick, and they'd be on opposite parts of the world and all be like tranced into one vision of some sort. But whoever was really feeling it would lead the way, and it was a different person every time. And one of these stories alludes to how they all get transported to the cities, to Rome, to the ancient Vatican. It was like, they said it was like maybe the years, like 1,000 years ago. Like it was not now, everything was still stone and wood and just old. And they found this ancient stairway which spiraled he said he couldn't even remember how long it went down. And when he got down there, it was guarded by two giant Nephilims who weren't in chains until he like commanded them and acknowledged who they were and made them admit their sin. It was just crazy, and it just alludes to a possible tomb or prison maybe, or something that has to do with these fallen entities where they dwell, possibly right underneath the quote unquote most holiest place on earth, the Vatican.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then you have were rats. Isn't that what that says? Were rats?
Yeah. It says they're frequently seen in the upper levels of the inner earth, particularly beneath the hell furnace in the sewers of the city. In the towns, they have infiltrated in their human forms they conduct trade with other races, both under and above ground.
Crazy, right? And I think the hell furnaces are maybe the volcanoes.
But I was just thinking in my head too. So yeah,
we don't know what volcanoes are. They tell us, it's this and it's doing this. We have no clue,
Absolutely. So what do we got? The beholders may have come to Earth in another world or dimensional plane. Wow, that's interesting. Beholder resembles a sphere about 4 to 6 feet across, with a single eye, a fang-failed mouth, that's nice, and 10 eye stalks crowning the sphere. A beholder can levitate to any height, floating at the speed of a slowly walking human. Okay, I don't know what that word is. All right, we'll just call that Zen. And
that description sounds like the evil version of the orbs that we see.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. Now that I was trying to put all that together, I really just couldn't. It's just strange stuff there. And it's just really crazy, all this stuff, man. This is absolutely just mind-boggling if you just start reading all this stuff and connecting it to what we've looked at in the past, and what it all could actually mean.
Yeah, and of course, here they give the globe model of the inner Earth as you scroll down there with the pictures and everything. We know better now, but maybe these people didn't, or they don't, get what's going on yet. If I was still on the globe, I would still look at that as that must be the way it looks. But obviously, it's flat. But I want to show people what the Darrow look like. And you can see this creature throughout history in different depictions of that they're actually a part of our surface, that they're a part of our lives, but people don't remember them because they've been zapped or something. Their memory's been wiped on that. But people who have recalled them draw them, and they're pretty hideous looking. I mean, they're just really bizarre. they have these really long noses, and they're pretty much hairless, and their nose resembles a trunk of an elephant. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this creepy creature that it's called Elephant Man. And I don't mean the movie with the kid and everything, but it's actually this figure that you'll see either in video games or really evil kind of movies and in backgrounds and stuff. And it's this kind of like figure that looks like it has like a long nose and these really dark eyes and stuff. Kind of like that Apple invert that you did, but stick a long nose on it too, you know? And it seems to grow some kind of weird bluish fungus around the top part of the nose where it touches the surface of the face itself. I don't know if it's a sign of age or it's something that they contract from living underground, that they get this sort of a bluish fungus around their nose too. So that kind of adds to the ugliness of them. But yeah, these things are real. People have encountered them and they've recalled them, and they've recalled their horrific experience that they had when they were taken down there to these caverns.
It just reminds me of like some Hindu or Buddhist type beliefs. And you said down in the caverns, and Buddhists, they believe, I think it's the Buddhists, they believe that their civilization came out of the earth, out of caves and caverns inside Tibet to bring you down to Shambhala. And I'm willing to actually, let me look up something else real quick. You keep talking about that picture. Do you want me to move on to the next one?
Yeah, go to the next one.
All right. I'm just going to look something up real quick. You go for that. Or you want to,
Okay.
yeah.
So this is the Darrow with their technology. Even though they look very primitive and barely wear any clothes and, you know, got all this weird, hideous shit going on, they're very technologically advanced. Where they got their technology, I don't know. But it all seems to be crystalline based, and it's a lot more advanced than anything that we have and what we're using. And, you know, maybe possibly some of the technologies that the government has are from, you know, trading with these beings and getting technology for humans, because the government has no problem giving up a few thousand humans for, you know, a really awesome piece of technology that they can use on us anyway. So, but yeah, when I saw the Men in Black movie and they're using that wand thing, and I thought of the Darrow, and I'm like, they zap you with this thing. As a matter of fact, they just touch it to your head and you're zapped. So I think in Men in Black, they kind of held it up in front of your face and zapped you. But still, I mean, it's truth in there. It's just sandwiched between lies. You know, the lie would be they actually touch your head with it. I mean, the lie would be they hold it in front of you when they actually touch your head. But still, the technology's there and it's being used for that purpose to mind wipe you. And a couple other pictures I have coming up shows one of them next to what we would consider a UFO, a disc-shaped object. And yeah, I think that a lot of the UFOs that are seen are coming from below. That's why people see them entering volcanoes. They see them entering and exiting the ocean, because they're not leaving. When they leave out, they don't go off into space. They're going underground where they came from. And this is the technology that they have.
Absolutely. And there's no coincidence that a lot of these UFOs are seen with, you know, we'll call it Nazi symbolism, but the swastika all over it. And the swastika goes all the way back to, you know, ancient Buddhists, back to Egypt, even down to, you know, parts of, I can't even think right now, but wherever the Sumerians were. Was that Africa? I'm sorry.
Yeah. No,
That's
the
what
African
I think.
Sumerians were in like Iraq.
Okay, yeah, well, that's technically part of Africa, right? Or no?
No, it's east.
Oh, that's Asia. Hey, they're all right in that little. They're all right there.
It's closer than we are to it.
Yeah, let's put it that way. Yeah, they got a better shot of hitting a golf ball there than I do.
All right, this is the Darrow in their technology. Once again, they have these things where they can they just do all kinds of crazy stuff. You'd actually have to listen to an interview and have somebody tell you about the technology and the purposes of them. But these are the drawings that people made from their memory of what they remember seeing while they were down there.
That's crazy.
And there's one with the fungus around its nose. And even that picture itself, you can see how it looks like in a dimensional plane. It's flat. It's not space that you're looking at. And you see that doorway in the background where they're entering a portal or somebody's walking through a doorway. Can you zoom in a little? There you go. It looks like a doorway of some sort, like something's coming through, or they can transport themselves. Like, 1 minute they're in one place and next 1 minute they're somewhere else.
Right.
And
Giving
they
you
have
that
that ability.
idea of omnipresent.
Yeah, like they can dip out. They can change the frequency with this wand thing that they use, and if you see them, and they know you see them, they could just hit this button on this thing or whatever, and they zap out, and they go down underground again that quick or whatever. And look at this. Do you see? This is the Dara. They're in touch.
Exactly, one and the same, and just like we were just saying there, you got A, you got B, pretty much the same thing that we were just looking at there. I think this is what's her name? I can't ever remember. It's Chinese Buddhist Ganesha. That's right, Ganesha. Yeah, and got the all this symbolism up in there. She's got, like you said, the elephant trunk, like we just saw, and I don't know why I can't zoom in anymore. I love that.
Why they elephant and stuff, and they hide the elephant in high regard, and it's good luck and all this stuff like that. When they're actually mimic, yeah, exactly. The swastika.
Right, like it's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's all connected.
Let's just stop right there for a second. Who had a swastika in their hand recently?
I don't know who.
Max Egan.
Oh, did he? I don't really follow that fucker anymore.
Well, Max Egan was going around saying for a second that the Earth was flat, and while he was
I saw that, and then he made an ass of himself.
Like a swastika in his hand or something, and that. Was he in contact with the Darrow? Did they come and zap him? I don't know, but I don't know what's going on with Max. But he just threw me for a loop. But that thing in the middle of the palm of the hand, and supposedly he had something in the palm of his hand, like the day after the flat Earth video that he did. And I'm just like, what is all this? It's all there for us to see if we have all the pieces to the puzzle and we can see it. But a lot of people don't know about the Darrow and the Elephant Man and all this stuff like that and what's going on below us. And, we're still trying to figure out the surface, and then you hear this stuff and it's like, well, I don't know if I'm ready to actually digest this yet because I'm trying to figure out what we're walking on here.
I'm telling the people, like, you gotta, you might look at something, someone might present something with you one day, and you might be like, oh, I'm opposed to that doesn't fit my worldview, but you gotta, just keep that in the back of your mind because, someone could present something else down the road that resonates with you, and then you go over here and you're looking at this, and that's starting to make sense to you, and then one day you take that old book off the shelf, and you're like, oh man, now this makes sense. That's happened to me so many times. Like I can't even begin to like describe or even give you a fake number of how many times that happens. That happens all the time. Like I'll go in my YouTube history and I'll scroll back 2 years or a year and just click on just a random video, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm like, maybe I don't think I got it like this back then, all the time.
Exactly. Did you go through all those pictures? Yeah, I think I only sent you 5.
Yeah, we went through the 5. Then I just want to show that comparison to the Grenada or whatever the hell that thing's name is.
Yeah, that first picture that you showed with the elephant, which is that entity, and then the man's drawing next to it. It's that same elephant deity that they're worshiping.
The same, and it's funny how all these like old ancient like civilizations all end up worshiping like the same demigod type deal, they all either come from the earth or they come from some sort of unreal divine intervention, like nothing that's talked about in the Bible.
I'm going to look up that video, The Sounds of Hell, as you're talking, and I'm going to send that to you, and we'll check that out now since we're talking about what's going on down deep in these caverns. And you better believe the missing people, the people who go missing in national forests and parks and stuff, where they're there 1 minute and next minute they're just gone and nobody can find them. I think it's the Darrow. I think that they're secretly taking people down there, and there's a lot more people down there than we could probably ever even imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell. Gosh, I haven't heard this in so long. I don't
Dude,
even know if this-
I know. I haven't seen that. I haven't heard this since like 2014.
they might have scrubbed it on here. Let me see if I can find it.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I got it. I got it right here.
All right, let me get a screen share ready.
I remember listening to it over and over and over again and trying to figure out what these monsters were saying in the background, because it almost sounds like one of them says "impossible," like as if they saw the microphone up top or something, and you know, somebody spotted it and they're like "impossible." I don't know. It's weird.
It's absolutely crazy.
It's creepy as fuck.
Donald Trump ad to start the day.
Oh, fuck Donald Trump.
Here comes that echo again. All right. Hello, hello. Testing 1, 2. All right, we are good. Let me just let this ad play out on mute real quick. All right. Oh, I could skip the ad. Beautiful. I didn't know that. That's awesome. All right. So, am I sharing this? I'm not. How's that? That's not it. All right. Oh man, amateur hour tonight, people. Get ready. It's gonna be a 7-hour show. Oh, I didn't even share the audio. That's ridiculous. Wow. All right. 0 for 2.
3 strikes, you're out.
Down right now. I need a ball or something. A little foul tip. All right. There's a single. There we go. We're on the board. All right. Damn. All right. Wow. Can you hear that echo, or is it just me?
It's just you.
Wow. That's gonna kill me. Okay.
They're saying that.
An echo in the chat. So. Hello? Can we hear me? Am I echoing? Let me get a thumbs up if I'm not echoing. I see echo, but someone give me a quick thumbs up. It says better. Yeah, my stream is tapped. Yeah, I know. I got like 2,000 windows open, so that could have something to do with all this. And let me close this one. Let me close that one. All right, maybe we'll get a little bit better service. No echo, no echo. All right, perfect. We are good to go. All right, I'm going to share this.
Okay, so I heard a cleaned up version of that where it's a lot more clearer. Somebody messed with the sound and the audio and everything and cleaned it up a lot. That wasn't it, but you can hear these overlord sounding voices in the background that are really deep, and they sound like they're either laughing and torturing other people. And you can hear, I clearly hear a woman screaming a few times. It sounds like a really crowded place, whatever it is. It's very crowded with people, and none of it's
Chaotic.
Chaotic.
Yeah. Oh my God, this audio.
Wow.
Okay, is that any better? Wow.
So, yeah, when you were talking about hell and chaos and all that stuff like that, that could be chaos, you know, that could be what chaos sounds like, and that's it in its location and why they call it chaos. You know, this person who depicted hell and chaos and Tartarus and all this stuff like that obviously had some inside information somewhere along the way, because you can't just going to accidentally make that stuff up and get it, you know, mostly right and stuff unless you have some sort of knowledge of it.
Right, absolutely. How did this? Oh man, I'm getting.
I'm not sure. Do you want me to leave out and come back? Maybe that'll help your situation. I could try that. Echoes sound demonic. Yeah, the whole thing sounds demonic. And then when he starts messing with his headphones and his cord, I don't know what's going on. Hey, Squeeze, what's up?
No, all right. You know what? I'm gonna drop out real. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. 10 seconds.
Okay. So yeah, the sounds of hell. I came upon that back when I was looking at Hollow Earth in 2007, and it creeped the fuck out of me. And they even had it on an Art Bell show. And I think that might have been the show where they played it, and then they played up like the cleaned up version of it. And it was like, holy crap. And you can hear one of them say like, what sounded to me like impossible or something like that. It was real creepy. And it was almost like they knew somebody was listening in on them or watching them or something. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't sound good, whatever's going on down there.
Not even close to good.
I want to go there.
Dude, this echo, I don't know what this is. Did this start all of a sudden?
It's got to be your end, not my end, because I seem to be fine over here.
Yeah, I just don't know what the issue is.
I wish I had another pair of earphones from there.
You know what? Let's just take a 5-minute mother earphones real quick.
All right, yeah, play a song or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna get something queued up.
I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. future to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I'm really sick of living, stuck and trapped in the system. You're just a brick in the wall, and I got my back up against it. I represent the resistance, they want me back up in prison. But I'm the master of my path, and I won't slack on my mission. You're lacking the vision, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. They hide the truth in plain view, right in front of your face. I used to think the world was normal, but that wasn't the case. We're just some goyim on a hamster wheel, running in place. Turn up the bass, I grab the microphone, and all I do is rock it. This little light of mine, I let it shine, and you can't stop it. But there's nothing these corporations just won't do for profit. This fake ass world that we live in is sick, it's truly toxic. If you don't see it that way, okay, then keep talking. Don't bump into that wall while you're sleepwalking. The alarm is going off, I hear it beep often. I'm at the double doors of truth, I'm gonna keep knocking.
I just want to live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just want to fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Future to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I refuse to just go quietly into the night. There's forces of darkness at work and they're restricting the light. I'm so fed up with the lies they tell us this isn't right. It's ODD TV, you best believe I'll get up and fight. This is my plight, I'll never let you cowards get the best of me. Took the red pill, now it's time to fulfill my destiny. Living like I'm Neo, dipping from my P.O. Tripping on me cause I am the one and he's a zero. Hot like a jalapeno, bringing heat that you just can't avoid. I call out bullshit and lies, they call me paranoid. People are just foolish, full of hate, they get angry. Point out the truth about reality, they label you crazy. Just a glitch in the system, you're a critical thinker. And no, they don't want that. Fuck them, give them the finger. I do it every single day with each and everything I say. I'm not living like a victim, it doesn't have to be this way.
I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Here's shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have
All right. Fuck on, dude. Really?
Still getting an echo?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Can you do this without your headphones in?
I mean, like, is it still echoing?
I don't hear an echo.
Oh, I'm getting it so bad on my end. I don't quite get what it is.
You know what it is? It's the fucking Darrow. They're fucking with you, Steve. You better watch they don't come get you tonight.
I know.
I'll be like, you know where he is. He's in hell.
Yeah, let me try one more thing. Plug that. All right, where is audio? Let me see. How's that?
Sounds good to me. Test 1 2 1 2 check. William says there's an echo.
What about now?
I don't hear it.
No.
Sound good.
What about now?
What about now?
This is killing.
This is killing me.
All right. Well. I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna completely. I'm gonna just disconnect from the internet, and I'll be back in a couple seconds.
All right. So I guess it's just me and you guys. Yeah, looking back at things that I used to look at before I had more pieces to my puzzle, you got to go back and reevaluate that information. I used to look at the ley lines on the globe model because I was really interested in where these intersect nodes are. And I was learning a lot about how the rituals are done on these ley lines and intersecting points where the high energy is. And so now I know about flat Earth. So I have to take all the ley lines and put that down onto the flat Earth. And I probably mentioned this before in a few of my videos and stuff. It forms the flower of life, the pattern. And that's very interesting. So it's just another piece to the puzzle. This plane that we're on is
All right.
way
Is there
more than I could
anything
ever
here?
imagine that it is. I hear you.
Still getting this echo.
That is so bizarre. They're honed in on you.
But there's two of me now. All right, now that's gone. That is so strange. I just don't get it. It's like this. Here, let me try something here. Let me. Is there in the chat? Let me know if there's an echo now. Is there still an echo in the chat? Just sucks. I can't really hear Jen talk at this audio level. No, there's still a chat, or there's still an echo. That's ridiculous.
It's weird. I can't hear it. You sound fine.
I know. That's what's pissing me off. Oh, it was so good up until now.
I'm gonna have to dip out at 6:15. I would like to go maybe live again later. Do you have work tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
That sucks,
Maybe I'll
dude.
go live by myself. Oh, I have a question, Steve. Okay, so since I can't screen share, say I'm on StreamYard and it's just me, but you know how, even if you go to other pages on your StreamYard, if you don't screen share it, the people can still see you, but you can't see your StreamYard anymore? Yes?
Yeah.
No? Yeah. Okay. If I click on a video and play it, will the audio come through that they can hear it through StreamYard, even though I'm not screen sharing?
I don't think so.
I was wondering about that.
I just don't know where the echo is coming from. Let me just try two more things.
Chrissy, what's up? Cold Steel, what's up? Squeeze, what's up? Michael, what's up? What else we got? Truth hurts. It sure does. I like the way you spell hurts. I wish I could click on it to put your stuff up there, but I can't.
Oh no. Yep. All right.
That sounds good.
This really stinks. I really just want to kill this and do a new stream. I know it's gonna be good, but
Yeetus McFetus, William Beckel. I don't know. Trying to see if I missed anybody. Cold Steel. What's going on? Awesome Austin. NH guy. I don't even know if everybody's still here with us, but I'm scrolling way back up. I think I got everybody. How many total is here right now? I don't even know what the totals are. Anyway, I'm glad anybody's here. Thank you so much. I'm happy if there's one person in the chat. I'm like, what's up? I got a whole bunch of shit to talk about. I don't have nobody else to talk to all day. And I'm going to talk to you.
what about now? Oh my god. All right, I'm just gonna pull the plug on this, and maybe we can try this another time.
All right.
I'm sorry. It was all good till 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's because we started getting deep into the fucking hole of hell, and then
That's right when it got all fucked up.
Yeah, that means
crazy.
we're on the right track, Steve.
Oh man!
What did I say? Fuck you, Darrow.
Yeah, right. He's probably fucking with me right now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I ain't scared of y'all shit.
Better sage your house.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I gotta need more than that. But all right. Thank you guys for coming. God bless you all. Thanks for coming, Jen. It was a good stream up until now, but hey, it is what it is. But
right.
yeah, like, share, and
for a reason.
subscribe, guys.
Bye. Love ya.